Welcome back, everyone, to another interview from the Draw Control podcast. On today's interview, I'm joined by sophomore on the LIU women's lacrosse team, Juliana Speziale. In her lacrosse career, Juliana has played in 16 games and has 1 goal, 8 ground balls, 7 caused turnovers, and 3 draw controls. Last season, Juliana helped her team to an NEC Championship and an NCAA Tournament appearance. And before college, Juliana was selected all-county honorable mention as a junior and senior. I'm super excited to have her on the podcast today. I think she's an amazing player. So, welcome to the podcast, Juliana, and how is everything going?
Yeah, it's good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I've never done something like this. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I love talking about lacrosse and just everything the game brings. So I can't wait to share some information with you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for being thank you for choosing us to be your first ever podcast. So that's awesome. Now let's talk about what's been going on this season. That's usually where I like to start things off. So your
Mhm.
team's off to another good start with an 8-6 record. What have you taken away from your team's performance so far this season, and just from a positive and I guess negative standpoint, if there's any as well?
Yeah, I think, our record says a lot about us. 8-6. I think it just shows this year like we're locked in, we're all unselfish, and we're playing for each other. And again, like you mentioned, the NEC, us winning the NEC tournament last year, it puts a big target on our back. And going into the season, we kind of knew that. But despite that, we always try to have like the underdog mentality, just come on top because we know every team is going to play their best game against us. And it did happen this year. Of course, non-conference play, I think we went 2-4, which was definitely better than last year. We were actually 0-6, but again, end result, we still came up on top. And I think it just shows like our team can deal with adversity. Like not every loss has to be negative. The end result being a loss like doesn't necessarily mean you don't have any wins. Like you move on, you learn from it, and I think that's a big thing that we took upon last year and especially this year, especially against our Wagner loss in overtime. But I think 8-6 is really solid. It just shows us like we're consistent, we're goal oriented, and we're just hungry to keep climbing and keep winning and make it all the way to the end.
Now, what would you say has been like the biggest improvement you've made to your game? Obviously, like you mentioned, teams are playing you a lot differently than last year. So I
Mhm.
assume because of that, there's definitely some things you've had to work on this summer to make those improvements. And have you noticed those, I guess, on the field?
Yeah, definitely. So again, last year I was a freshman, so typically you don't see a lot of playing time. I did get like few runs. I played two-way midfield my whole life, and this season I was actually just converted to a straight defender. So that's a new role I've taken on. I was kind of warned about it in the summer, so worked a lot on my footwork, a lot of my agility, my just like watching film even too over the summer. I know it sounds silly, but you just learn so much from your teammates, especially our whole defense is seniors. So the three other defenders are seniors. My goalie is a senior. The girl that flies in for defense, she's a junior. So everyone's an upperclassman besides me. So I kind of, I knew I had to work hard this summer and show I definitely earned my spot. But going from a two-way midfielder to like straight defender, I think it brings a lot to my game, especially because I've thought I know how offense works, I know how defense works, and I think it helps me become really smart on the defensive end. And so what my coach kind of told me, she's like, "You're such a smart defender. Like, let's turn you into a defender." And it was challenging, a lot of ups and downs because it's very different from midfield. I mean, you're used to playing both sides of the ball and scoring goals and doing all these things and hustling back, but defense, you have to be more precise, I think, like your footwork, your mindset, and it kind of stings on defense because the whole point is to stop a goal, and you're going to get scored on, you're going to get beat. And offense, you could just let that go with getting a goal or getting an assist, but defense, it's like, all right, next one, let's go. So I think that's like the biggest implement to my game, just changing from that two-way midfielder to straight defender this year. And I'm so grateful for my teammates. They've given me the confidence and the advice I need to know, and I'm just so grateful for them.
Yeah, it must be nice to have older players with you on that side of the ball to make that transition easier, especially when those growing pains take place, like you were just mentioning.
Mhm.
Now, your team is wrapping up the regular season this month. What are your thoughts about the upcoming games your team has, and how do you hope to end off the regular season?
Yeah, so we're looking obviously for two more wins. We only have two games left. So this Saturday we have St. Francis and we're home, which is always nice, defending your home turf. It's like just a great feeling winning at home and just going back in the locker room and celebrating with your team. We just, we've been preparing in film this year. I mean, this week a lot for them. It's an important game. We have to treat every team like they're the best, and it's also our senior night, so just kind of knowing we have to play for our seniors that game. But we've been working hard in practice, doing a lot of film. We know how they play, and we're kind of expecting their defense. It's something we haven't seen before, but we've been like replicating that in practice, just trying to get reps and reps and make our offense prepared. Defensive scout is just as important as our strong defense. So I think that we're obviously looking for a win. And then we have Howard the following weekend. I know they're down in DC, so we'll be traveling on the road. And again, we've played them before, so we kind of know their tendencies, super athletic. But again, looking for a win and just to try to get number one seed in the NEC.
What's it like being playing in the NEC and just the competition you face each game?
Yeah, I mean the NEC, it's a grind. Every game is a battle, and I know it may not get the recognition it deserves, and I know people are like the ACC and Big Ten Conference, but NEC, the talent's just as good. You've got players that are incredible and teams that are incredible, and the competition level is the same. I mean, every single game is a battle, and you leave it all on the field. It's just such a great feeling. And playing in the NEC, it's awesome. I mean, you've got great teams, and I know teams move in and out of conferences all the time, but like last year playing in the NEC for the first time, I was like, wow, these girls are good. Like, competition's legit, and games are tight. The margin of error is small. You got to play your best, and yeah, I just thought the talent's real.
Now, how have you, I guess, learned to balance both academics and lacrosse at such a high level?
Yeah, so I always put school first. I've always been that way, kind of growing up. I think what helped me is just kind of preparing myself in high school. I know it's completely different from college, but I had a full schedule my 4 years of high school. My senior year, I could have had, like two classes, but decided to pack it all in and keep busy. I played three sports in high school, and I took all like APs, honors classes, and everything. And I worked during seasons, and had games every other day. So some days I would literally have like 15-hour days, and I would just keep going. And it just always kind of been instilled in me from growing up. School comes first, and balance yourself well. And I think I can handle that pressure well, just because I kind of prepared myself so well in high school. um, but yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'd just say stay organized and kind of plan out everything in advance. Have a calendar, multiple calendars, and just get ahead. Like, talk to your professors. Like, they're great assets, especially when you're a student athlete. You kind of just explain games, practice schedules, everything, and they're willing to work with you. So I think Oh, and we have study hall. It's mandatory. So we always put our phone away for 2 hours, and just once a week get our work done. It's nice to have because it's mandatory. So it kind of forces you to do stuff too.
Well, let's transition now and talk about the beginning of your lacrosse career and sort of work all the way up to where you are now with LIU. So, from the research I did on yourself, it says that you're
Mhm.
from Lake Grove, New York.
Yes, I am.
Talk about growing up there. How'd you start playing lacrosse?
Yeah, so I actually have a twin brother, and it's just us two, no older or younger siblings. And I remember my dad finding out about the boys program. So I actually played boys lacrosse first and second grade with my brother. And I mean, it was chaotic, but it was super fun. And then I remember in third grade, they finally developed a girls' team for my program or my town, which was called Middle Country. And just got involved there. I have made friends for 10 plus years. They all play in college now. And just growing up with them and the sport was amazing. I played a lot of other sports, but from the start, was always my favorite. Played basketball, soccer, gymnastics, swimming. I kind of did every sport under the sun. I think my parents kind of wanted to give me the childhood that they never had. My parents worked like three jobs from the age of 13. My dad played basketball on the side for fun when he could, and my mom never played sports. So I think they wanted to get my brother and I involved really early. Um, but yeah, played boys lacrosse first 2 years, played boys baseball till fifth grade, which I think is why I'm so competitive now. But but yeah, found out about lacrosse in third grade and just fell in love with it ever since.
Yeah, I assume playing with the boys probably made you a little tougher because they always go harder at
Yeah.
the only girl on the team.
Oh yeah, and playing in the backyard with my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, we would fight so much.
Did you win any of those fights or was he
Oh, of
always?
course, of course. Until he started going to the gym and getting taller. So
Yeah, yeah. That's usually what happens, I feel like. So,
yeah.
did you have like a favorite lacrosse player or team that you liked to watch growing up, or was it more of just a sport that you played?
Yeah, I definitely watched lacrosse growing up. I watched college lacrosse growing up. Was a huge fan of UNC. The whole era with like Marie McCool and then Jamie Ortega. She actually went to my high school, so I was coached by her coach, which is really awesome. And her sister Nikki, I watched them all in middle school and just what they could do. So I would definitely say them. I was really obsessed with the Team USA as well, kind of like 2017-ish, I would say. I think like Taylor Cummings was on the team and all those great players. And most of the players I grew up watching are now playing professionally, which I think is awesome.
And before college, you played for your high school for Center Reach. Talk about your high school lacrosse days, and do you have like a favorite memory that stands out from that time when you look back on it now?
I do. So again, most of the girls I played with in high school, I played honestly in elementary school. So just coming like full circle, it's just awesome. And again, I have friends that I've been friends with for over 10 years because of the sport. Um, but yeah, high school was awesome. It was upsetting because our freshman year of high school was COVID, so our season was kind of messed up a little bit. Travel was messed up a little bit, but we pushed back the season, still had our season and everything. Um, my coach ended up leaving, so we got a new coach, which was a little tough, but we got into it. You know, the girls, we helped her out a lot, and a lot of the girls in my grade, we've been playing varsity since seventh grade, so we've had a lot of experience despite being like a freshman or a sophomore, like an underclassman. So I think that like really helped the team pull together. And I would say my favorite memory was our senior night. We played William Floyd. I'm not sure if you're too familiar with William Floyd, but they're an excellent team, usually go very far. And one of the girls from there is playing at Maryland right now, so she's very, very talented team. And I ended up getting the game-winning goal against them for our senior night, and it was just an awesome feeling.
Now, it says on your IWLCA profile that you played club lacrosse for the Yellow Jackers. I don't know if that was like a typo, if you actually played for the Yellow Jackets, but
Yes, I did play for the Yellow Jackets, yeah.
okay. So I just want to make sure. I was like, I've never heard of the Yellow Jackers, but I also don't want
Yeah.
to know if sometimes it might have not been a typo. So,
hmm
but what was it like playing club lacrosse for them, and how did it sort of help prepare you for college?
Yeah, it was awesome. I still talk to my coach this day. I love them. I love the girls that I played with. They've ended up in such great spots, and seeing them and what they're doing now, it's just incredible. I'm so proud of them. And yeah, I think just the traveling, like just being really committed to the sport has helped me a lot. Been traveling since like sixth grade, seventh grade with the same girls been playing with, and they are so talented. And I think it's really helped because you're facing different competition. Like you're playing girls from out of state, you're playing girls from Maryland, and Maryland's very good. You're playing other girls from Long Island that you necessarily wouldn't be faced with in high school. So I think that is like the biggest takeaway, just getting like new competition. And getting to travel with some of your best friends and, ending up in different places. Like you don't get to practice with them every day because again, most of the time for travel, you're not playing with them every day. You're playing maybe 2 times a week and then you're traveling with them. So I think it's prepared me well just to face adversity. I mean, you're going against girls who might play differently or play more aggressively, especially like Maryland, and you're seeing different refs and just getting different, looks like um like teammates, some leave, some come back, some are, from all over. We had a girl on our team from Syracuse and, just playing with her and then just learning like what they do down there. It's just awesome. So you just get like so many opportunities and so many learning experiences with travel.
Now, you also played basketball growing up. How did that sport help you in lacrosse? And I'm assuming the
Hmm.
defense probably translates
Oh
very
yeah.
well.
Yeah, so I love basketball. I huge Knicks fan, love
I'm a
to watch.
Celtics fan. I'm sorry.
Oh man. It's okay. It's
Hopefully, we
okay.
face you in the playoffs. It would be a fun series.
Oh, so fun. I'm so excited. I know we just lost to you guys in overtime not too long ago, but such a good game. Always a good game. But yeah, so I'm a huge Knicks fan. Growing up playing basketball, just awesome. I mean, again, it helps with just that like your athleticism and your competition. Basketball, you're running up and down the field, not field, but court. And definitely the defense's transition, just the footwork and how fast you have to be and how quick you have to be to steal the ball or read the ball and or get the rebound. I'm not the tallest person. I'm 5'2". So, just trying to squeeze my way in on defense in basketball, it's definitely helped me in lacrosse, and I love basketball so much. I still talk to my high school coaches to this day, and it just helps you like stay busy, stay out of trouble, stay athletic, and you're just so fast with your feet. You have to have such good footwork in basketball, both like on the offensive and defensive side. And I was recognized for my defensive skills in high school. Often I would face guard the best player or have the most steals. So it definitely translates to the lacrosse field.
Now, talk about your recruiting process with LIU. How did that go for yourself, and what made you want to go there versus the schools you might have looked at?
Yeah, so I now currently live in Stony Brook, so I'm about an hour from here. I knew I wanted to be close to home. That was like the biggest thing for me. I'm a big homebody. Love going home for some dinner every once in a while and seeing my family and my dog. So I knew I wanted to stay close to home. And the recruiting process was definitely tough. My biggest advice would just be like stay patient. You're gonna end up where you're supposed to be. And it kind of sounds cheesy, but I just knew from stepping on campus this was the place for me. It's a smaller school, which what I was looking for. It's beautiful, especially during like this time, all the flowers and the trees blooming. It's great, and talking with the team and our coaches that we have now, I mean, I knew it was the right place for me. The girls are so supportive. They were super nice. They were willing to talk to me about anything and being honest with their experience so far. And, I saw the locker room, I saw the field, just kind of got a really good feeling like, wow, I think this is it. And, I kept in contact with my coaches. I committed in January, so I was still a little bit hesitant, but I think just the biggest thing that this school had was just the girls and just the school itself. Like, I just love the way it's laid out. I could see myself, like, obviously, again, I put school first, so just knowing like you have a really good relationship with your professors and the classes are generally small. Like I knew I definitely wanted that. So I think that definitely stood out compared to other schools.
Now, when you were a freshman, what was like the biggest adjustment you had to make to college lacrosse?
Yeah. So freshman year was an experience definitely new. You're living with someone, you're away from your family, you're kind of more independent. No one's telling you, hey, you got to get up, go to school, or hey, you have to do this. You're just really independent, and I think it's such a great thing to experience, just like your freshman year, like first time at college. Um, I would say the biggest adjustment would just be like being on your own a lot. Like it's okay to be by yourself. Like you can eat alone, you can study alone. Like It's totally okay. It's totally normal. And you can make so many new friends. Like, I was nervous about coming to school and talking to new people and, leaving my friends behind, but I have my best friends on the team. They're amazing girls, and I love each and every one of them. And then on the field, I would say the biggest adjustment is definitely the pace of the game. I'm sure you've heard that a bunch of times, but it is super fast, especially with the shot clock and just the level of competition. Like, you're around girls, as a freshman, you're 18 years old coming in, you're around girls who could be 21, 22, even 23. And, it's completely different from high school. You think you're the strongest, you think you're the fastest, but you're not. Like, you're open to a whole new world. But, just integrate yourself. And I think just being confident, like, you have a reason that you were recruited to the school that you're at. So just always keep that in mind.
Sometimes even 24 with the red shirt in the COVID year too. So
Exactly.
it's getting people are getting older and older staying in college. So
Yeah,
now let's
exactly.
talk about what happened this past season because obviously it was a very special year for your team. Your team won the NEC Championship against Sacred Heart. Talk
Hmm.
about what it was like winning that championship, especially against the defending champions who were
Hmm.
really loaded that year. And it was also a road game too. So a
Yeah.
lot of stuff was going against your team for that game, but you found a way to pull it off. And that must have been a really special moment for you.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, especially coming in as a freshman and then ending the season like that. It's like, wow, I started off my LIU career really strong. Just the preparation. I mean, we would be in that film room for 2 to 3 hours a day, and we would get on that field and we would switch pennies and act like this girl or act like this girl. The preparation work that we did really paid off, and I credit all like my whole team and the coaches. I mean, we really wanted this game, and we wanted to make history. And the seniors last year, the girls who aren't back this year, they so badly wanted to win a championship, and you could see it in their faces every day on the field. And we would talk about it in the fall. We would talk about it in the spring. It was all over our locker room last year. Get a ring, ring it, ring it, ring it. We would remind each other every day while we're out on that practice field. And I just think the preparation work that we did really showed, and the feeling, I mean, was incredible. Like, the pictures that were taken, like, it can't even describe the feeling that you feel. I mean, it's something that not a lot of teams get to accomplish. And, accomplishing that my freshman year, I think was like eye opening, like, wow, this team's good. Like, we got to do it again. And, beating them, especially, coming in, I always knew we had a rivalry with Sacred Heart. Obviously, they're not in our conference anymore, but, I never knew how bad it was. And our first game, we lost to them on their field, and I don't think we forgot how that felt. So I think just taking that feeling and then just knowing what we worked for all year and just leaving every single thing we had on that field paid off, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, you guys got to play against Virginia in your NCAA tournament game at North Carolina too, which must have been special for you growing up a fan of
Hmm.
that team. Even though you lost, I'm just curious, like what you took away from your first national tournament experience.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Again, like you just said, growing up, I used to watch the NCAA tournament all the time, and being a part of it and getting a patch, like, I was like, wow, this is so cool. I was just so grateful. My team was grateful to be there. We were on the call with like all these teams, and when we found out we were playing Virginia, we were so excited. I mean, their facilities are amazing. Just their coaching staff and the girls there have incredible talent, and we were just so excited. And we prepared like any other game. And it's just like important just to know it doesn't matter who you're playing, the name on the jersey doesn't matter. It just matters like what your team does and how you guys play and how you guys prepare. And obviously they were ranked number 4 in the nation, so the odds of winning were very, very slim. But again, like, just playing our best lacrosse, I think we played very well against them. It was really fast paced. The competition was great, and we got to see UNC play Florida after our game, and just watching them play in person and seeing the coach on the sideline. I mean, it was great.
Yeah. I told this to Julia, I think, when I interviewed her, like just how
Hmm.
impressive your team was in that game, and you guys really represented the NEC very well on that. So
Yeah.
even though you guys lost, you should have a lot to be proud of from that season.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now let's transition to a segment I like to call the non-lacrosse segment, or ask you some non-lacrosse questions to get to know you more off the field. I think there is
Hmm.
one sort of lacrosse question in there, but we'll
Hmm.
get to that when it happens. But first one is, what's the best concert you've ever been to?
Okay. So I am a huge Kid Leroy fan. If you know me, you know I love Kid Leroy, and I was a fan since 2019, like before he was even known.
Yeah.
And my friends used to make fun of me. Why do you like his music so much? He's terrible, and he started gaining popularity 2022, and now he's like really one of the biggest artists. And I'm like, how was day one? I tell all my friends now, like, look. So the only concert I've ever been to was his concert. I went to two. I went to one that got rescheduled for COVID, and it was crazy. Me and my best friend, we went. The tickets were like $60 in the city, and we ended up on the wrong side of the venue, and we ended up in the VIP section. I don't know how, and we were with like the DJ's family and his son, and I was like, "What are we doing here?" But that hands down the best concert I've been to. It was amazing.
When I first heard about him, I heard it was the song Diva with Lil Tecca. It
Oh
came
my,
out
yeah. So
like in
that's the
during
one.
COVID. I
Oh my
assume that's
God.
when most people like started hearing him. And I remember thinking that's a good song. So,
Yeah.
but I'm a big fan of his girlfriend, Tate McRae. So shout out to
Oh, me
her.
too. Oh, me too. I love her.
Now, if you could have lunch with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
So, it's a good question. I feel like, honestly, this might be cheesy, but Jesus Christ. I mean, I am a huge believer in my faith. I'm credit all my success to him, and I just think sitting down, especially with Holy Week and Easter coming up, like I would just love to sit down and kind of ask him everything and just see really what he went through, because as a follower, like what we know and what we believe, like, and what we've learned just from my whole life, just learning, like I just really want to know kind of what happened and just everything, and get to talk to him now. So
Yeah, that's a good answer.
yeah.
I would say for me, probably Tom Brady, just
Yeah.
because he went through a lot of adversity in his football career and then
Yeah.
became like the best player of all time. And it would just be
Mhm.
cool to talk to him about all the stuff he went to. And I'm obviously a big Patriots fan, so
Mhm.
it would be a long conversation about all those games that I remember.
Yeah.
Now, what's been the most interesting thing you've read or seen recently?
I don't know. I mean, hmm, read or seen.
You
I
want
don't
me to
know.
answer it first to help you out?
Yeah, you can go first.
I would say for mine, it would be the Masters. It was really cool to see Rory finally win it for the first time and become a Grand Slam winner. And
Mhm.
obviously, I'm a big golf fan, so that was fun to watch. Or just learning more about the Abraham Lincoln assassination since it took place like on this day, like so many years ago. I don't know
Mhm.
the number, but I was
Uh-huh.
just interesting learning more about that event and how it's like changed American history.
Mhm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would say maybe, I guess sports wise, next we obviously clinched third seed playoffs, so just been reading like all the comments and
Are you gonna be in one of those videos where like they interview people outside the stadium and they go crazy?
I wish, but I've been to one game. The tickets are just so expensive,
Yeah, I
but
understand.
MSG is such an amazing. It's such an amazing experience. I got to go with my brother over winter break, and we saw them play the Raptors, so we got to see like RJ, and everyone went crazy. But I guess that, I don't know. And then I guess like school wise, we just dissected a frog, so that
Oh
was pretty
wow.
cool.
I haven't done that since high school,
Yeah,
so
it was gross, but learned a lot.
yeah, I hope you did. That's definitely interesting to see, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Now, next three are somewhat lacrosse questions. First one is who would you want to be on a long road trip with if you had to pick any of your teammates?
See, I love all my teammates. I think the only good, No, not good. But I think the right answer to this question would be my teammate Harper. So she's from California, and every year she makes the drive down here. So it's like she tells me it's like a 6 day road trip, and she stops at all these crazy places. And I think this year she's doing like, she's driving down to Florida, and then from Florida, she's going all the way to California. And it's going to be like a week of her just driving and camping out. And she's sick. She's like such a cool, like, traveler, like, just everything. She literally goes camping in the mountains, and she's definitely the type of person I would want to go on a road trip with because she's experienced, and I feel like she would get to show me a lot of cool places.
Now, you obviously have the best style on the team, but beside yourself, who has the best style on LIU women's lacrosse?
Oh, definitely Skylar Fig. She goes thrifting all the time, and the stuff she finds is so sick. I think the way she styles stuff is so cool. And I always tell her, Skylar, I love your outfit. Yeah.
What is the most embarrassing lacrosse moment like of your whole life, I guess? Like one that you look back on and it's like, wow.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. There's definitely been a lot of embarrassing moments. Feel like maybe like falling or I don't know. There's a lot. I would say one game though that I do look back when I was younger. I used to wear neon cleats with socks up to my knees that were neon headband, and I used to do. My friends and I, we thought we were so cool, and we would do this crazy eye black. And I just look back on like, why would anyone let me do this?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, luckily none of those games are like broadcasted like they are
Yeah,
now. So that would be
exactly.
kind of, I don't know. I don't know how you would feel about it now if it got like
Oh my
posted on
God.
like social media and all that stuff.
Yeah, no.
Now, last non lacrosse question is where is one place you would love to travel to soon?
So I would say Italy, definitely. My grandparents, they were from there. So my grandmother, she always talks about bringing all of us. She says beginning of May is the best time to go, but obviously that's when the tournament is. We're still in school. But I definitely want to go down there. I didn't get to go my senior year of high school. My class went to Italy, but of course during season can't go, so missed out on that opportunity. But definitely want to visit there at least for like 10 days and just kind of experience what my grandmother grew up in, and just want to learn like the history of where she grew up and what she did. And I hear so many stories, and I just want to kind of experience them in
Yeah.
person.
Hopefully, maybe after you graduate, you can do that at some point.
Hmm.
Now, let's get back to a couple of lacrosse questions now. First one is, what should be done to help grow women's lacrosse from your perspective?
I mean, I think just what you're doing now, just getting to know players and putting us out there. I know social media has helped tremendously with just growing women's sports in general. I know like the WNBA has gained a lot of popularity, and I think just, yeah, like putting yourself out there and getting to know the sport. Like men's lacrosse is watched all the time. They had a major league for them for a while. I mean, I remember watching them when I was younger, and now just knowing there's like a women's team, it's just great. I think that's going to help a lot, like, broadcasting that. And again, like what you're doing, I think just talking to a bunch of players and putting them out there, it's just great opportunity for people to see, what we can show and what our sport's about.
Now, last question I have for you is, just thought of this on the top of my head, but I was just
Hmm.
curious, like as a defender, who's like the best attacker you've ever gone against in your career?
Oh my goodness. This is a good question because there have been a lot. I would say in practice, like on our team, I would say Nuzzy. She is the fastest person I have ever seen. Her first step is so quick, and like she will get you on that little first step. She's so good. All the defenders are always like, "Ah, oh, Nuzzy, you're too fast." She's such a great player. I've seen her grow so much, gain so much confidence this season. And I'm so proud of her. But definitely her. And then I would say, competition wise, I would say maybe girls from Bryant or even just the past game, Stonehill, like number 31. She's awesome, awesome player. Such a fast dodger, such a strong dodger, can dodge from low, dodge from high. Just an overall like great offensive player, like something that you would want in body as an offender. And going back to the girls from Bryan, like they were fast, they were tall, they were big. So definitely hard to defend taller girls because a lot stronger. So
Yeah, no, that Stonehill team was very underrated. So,
super
uh,
good. Yeah.
but I guess any shout outs you want to give to your teammates, family members, and friends, and who should we have on the podcast next?
Yeah, shout out LIU women's lacrosse. Been working very hard, and I love all my teammates. I think you would have an absolute blast if you interviewed any one of my teammates. But I think that you should reach out to Coach Els, our assistant coach, our defensive coach. She is awesome. She's done a few podcasts. She always listens to podcasts, and she always has such great advice, like film room or on the field, just very quick with just some awesome advice. And I think you would have fun kind of picking apart her brain and just hearing what she has to say, especially her playing lacrosse in college as well. She was a goalie, and she's kind of experiences the ups and downs that we as college athletes experience. So definitely should have her on the podcast.